Welcome back to the Always Thinking Mindset channel, where we give you positive vibes and simple rules to achieve your goals. Now, in today's video, we're going to discuss on how to find a quality tenant for your rental property. This is very important because it can cost you money and time. But before we start, as always, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. It does help the algorithm. Don't worry, you don't need to be subscribed. Don't get scared and commit. But if you love this channel and you've checked out all my other videos and you love what I do here, which is try to share as much as information, then you already know what to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first rule in order to find a quality tenant, you have to start off with their history, right? Because tenants tend to move around. You don't know what's going on, their personalities. You don't know if they left broke their previous lease, if they have a criminal background record. I mean, you're getting a lot of you need to extract a lot of information before you get that tenant into your rental property because once they're in there, it's a lot harder for them to get out, especially in the jurisdiction or the state you live in. So the way to do this is when you have an application, just like me, I kind of make them go through an application, how much they make, credit score. I need references. I need to verify income and their employment. That way we don't waste each other's time, but understand their history, right? Check in with their previous landlords, their previous leases, ask them questions, try to have this interview with them because in the end, whenever they come in and anybody sometimes can have the money for the rent, but that doesn't necessarily make them a good fit, especially if later on they end up changing the script, lose their job, or just don't want to pay your rents anymore. And that leads up to a burden of just chaos. And so the best thing to do is just focus on history to get this quality tenant. And just on a side note, there is no such thing as a perfect unicorn, right? There's a lot of people out there that need help, that need a place to live, and they don't have the best record or the best credit score. And I get that. But I guess the main thing to look for is just, and you'll find them, a lot of actors, whether it's a family or it's a single person trying to live into your rental property, you got to learn how to maneuver and see what's best fit for them and you, right? Because in the end, you do want a quality tenant. Everybody wants the perfect tenant, paying rents on time and not dealing with anything else. But which leads me to my next rule is credit score. That's a big thing for me because I'm not going to let anybody just rent my house without having any kind of history of payment. I have to verify this. And their credit score is a perfect way to do this because it tells me that they're good on payments, whether they're going to be late on rent. They do have credit history. They do take their life serious, right? Because there's just so many people out there that I don't know where that money comes from, whether it's drug dealing or something illegal. And I'm not here to generalize, but what I am trying to say is that, you got to have some kind of background with me in order to relate and to rent my rental property. And credit score just does that to where, you have established credit and banks use it. I have other landlords that use it. I mean, this is the most common way of renting out your rental property and just simple as that, just asking for a credit score. Now, the last one is references because references is one of those things that I got to verify with the previous landlord what happened, why are they out, did they make rents on time. You have to research all this because you're getting this new tenant in your house, and if you find out later on they broke a lease, they never made rents on time, or something happened tragic, and you're over here housing into your property, now that's your liability. So I tell people, go ahead and check those references because, whatever they put down, follow up on the phone call, send emails, verify through other leasing offices. I mean, do your due diligence up front so you don't have to deal with the headaches in the end. Now, which leads me to it's not a final rule or anything, but it's one of those things that the reason we're talking about quality tenants is because there's a lot of people that don't qualify, right? whether they earn a low income that cannot maintain rent. And I do yearly leases, so I'm not going to take anybody in that makes, not, I'm not discriminating, but makes $7 an hour. There's nothing there to where I know they can come up with the money. It just doesn't make sense, right? So I verify income, credit score, references. But the gist of all this is because you do have bad actors out there. You have these things known as squatters. They will come to you, they'll try to be your friend, and I need a place to live, and it can be just for 2 or 3 months. Next thing you know, they're withholding rent. You have to file an eviction. You got to get them out of there. And there's a whole proceeding for that. And that takes time and money and patience. So before you go down that road and that valley, you have to think of, getting a quality tenant, maybe holding off on these rents, because I know a lot of landlords as well where they'll take anybody's rents just to meet the mortgage, and that's okay. That's how they run their business. That's how they do it. But in the end, the point is to not get into this lax, lax mentality that there are no bad actors out there. But anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, you took value, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It does help the algorithm. And at the same time, if you love this channel, then you already know what to do. Please check out my other videos, and I will speak to you soon.